Athena had everything: beauty, wealth, and a husband who adored her. From the outside, her life seemed flawless, a dream many envied. She and her husband, Daniel, had been married for 5 years, building a life filled with luxury, vacations, and social prestige. But as perfect as it seemed, something was missing. That's when she met Ryan. Ryan was different. A struggling artist with an intense charm, he saw Athena not as a symbol of status but as a woman, someone who could feel, love, and desire beyond the surface of perfection. Their affair began as an escape, a reckless thrill in hotel rooms and secret getaways. For 2 years, Athena balanced her double life, telling herself she was in control. Until Ryan disappeared. At first, she thought he had simply moved on. But then, she found the letter, buried beneath a stack of old love notes in their usual spot. Athena, you were never meant to be mine forever. I was never meant to be part of your perfect world. But I wanted you to know, the last 2 years weren't a lie. You showed me a life I never thought I'd experience. Now, it's time for me to leave something behind for you, just like you left something behind for me. Her heart pounded as she read those words. What did he mean? What had she left behind? Then the second letter arrived. This time, addressed to Daniel. The walls of her perfect life began to collapse. Athena had spent years crafting the illusion of a perfect marriage. To the world, she and Daniel were the ideal couple, wealthy, successful, and deeply in love. But behind closed doors, she was living a dangerous lie. For 2 years, she had been secretly seeing Ryan, a man who made her feel alive in ways Daniel never could. It wasn't just passion, it was freedom. Every stolen moment with Ryan felt like a rebellion against the golden cage of her marriage. But what started as an affair soon turned into something much darker. One night, Ryan sent her a message. We need to talk. It's urgent. She ignored it. She had grown distant lately, feeling guilty, considering ending things. But when Ryan vanished the next day, something inside her twisted with unease. Then, a package arrived at her doorstep. No sender. No return address. Just a small box with a letter on top. Athena, secrets don't stay buried forever. Your husband deserves the truth. Her hands trembled as she opened the box and saw the evidence inside. Pictures. Letters. A recording. Everything she thought was hidden, all in one place. Daniel walked in just as she dropped the box. His eyes met hers, and in that moment, she knew her perfect world was about to shatter. Athena stood frozen, her heart pounding like a war drum. The words she had just heard from Liam echoed in her mind, each syllable cutting deeper than the last. I never loved you, Athena. It was always about the money. Her hands trembled as she clenched the edge of the marble countertop in their lavish penthouse. The city skyline stretched behind her, a stark contrast to the storm brewing inside her. Liam's expression remained cold, detached, as if the past years they had spent together were nothing more than a well-played game to him. Athena swallowed the lump in her throat. So, that's it? You used me, took everything, and now you're walking away like I meant nothing? Liam chuckled, running a hand through his hair. You catch on fast. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small document, divorce papers. Sign these. Let's not make this messy. Her blood boiled, but she forced herself to stay composed. She had built her empire from the ground up, survived betrayals before, and she sure as hell wasn't going to let this man destroy her. Athena slowly walked toward him, her heels clicking against the marble floor with calculated confidence. She took the papers, flipped through them, and then, with an icy smirk, ripped them in half. Liam's smirk faltered. What the hell are you doing? She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You thought you could outplay me, Liam? I saw this coming. That's why the accounts you think you drained? They were decoys. The real fortune? Locked away where you'll never touch it. His face turned pale. You're bluffing. Athena leaned in, whispering in his ear. Try me. Liam's jaw clenched, his bravado cracking. She turned on her heel and walked away, her head held high. She had lost love, but she had won the war. And Athena never lost. Liam stood there, his confidence crumbling like sand slipping through his fingers. His entire scheme, the months of deception, manipulation, and careful planning, gone in an instant. Athena didn't look back as she walked to the grand piano in the corner of the room, running her fingers over the keys, the weight of years of betrayal settling in her chest. Then, she turned to face him one last time. You wanted my money, Liam? Her voice was calm, controlled. Enjoy what little you managed to take. Because starting tomorrow, you won't even have that. His eyes flickered with uncertainty. What do you mean? She pulled out her phone, tapped a few buttons, and then turned the screen toward him. A frozen bank account. His name blacklisted from all financial institutions tied to her empire. Every card, every investment, every last cent he thought he could escape with, gone. You were good, Liam, Athena said, stepping closer, her heels clicking against the marble. But I'm better. Liam's breathing turned shallow. You. Before he could finish, security entered the penthouse. Two men in tailored suits stood behind him, their presence making it clear his time was up. Athena tilted her head. You should leave now. Before I decide to make things difficult. Liam swallowed hard, his face pale. He had thought he was the predator, but he had been the prey all along. Without another word, he turned and walked out, the doors closing behind him with a finality that echoed through the vast room. Athena exhaled slowly, gripping the edge of the piano. The hurt was still there, buried beneath layers of strength. But she wouldn't let it break her. She had lost a man. But she had reclaimed herself. And that was worth more than anything. Liam staggered into the empty night, the weight of his own arrogance crushing him. He had played the game and lost badly. Inside the penthouse, Athena stood by the massive floor-to-ceiling window, her reflection staring back at her against the city skyline. She should have felt anger, rage, even sorrow. But instead, there was only relief. A slow breath escaped her lips as she swirled the glass of wine in her hand. She wasn't broken. She wasn't defeated. Liam was just another lesson. And like every other challenge in her life, she had conquered it. Tomorrow, she would wake up stronger, richer, smarter, untouchable. As for Liam, he would wake up knowing he had betrayed the one person he should have never crossed. And that was his real punishment.